Anybody remembers? No?
The
What was?
offenses.
Go ahead, Mataji, please.
I remember hearing about the offenses that we make during chanting,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then the levels of prayer that and the types of prayers.
Very good.
Um, I think there's three of them,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then intent over perfection.
Very good. Very good. Very nice. Anybody would like to add something more? What Mataji has already spoken?
Um, it is about how we follow when we visit the temple or we
Mm-hmm.
go
Mm-hmm.
around the temple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, yes. That
And
also we talked about. Absolutely.
yeah, and how we dress up and what are the codes we need to follow, why we wear that śaṅkha chakra, and the how it just makes us recognize, and how we go like putting that symbols 12
Very good.
tilaks, and
Very good. Very good.
how it
Yes.
makes us stand out, and how we should not overdress ourselves. We should be dressing it perfect, but not overdress. Ensure that we shouldn't overdress. That I liked it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Krishna should always be the most decorated one, right? We shouldn't be trying to steal the limelight. Nobody can do that, but still, we shouldn't even attempt to do that. All right. So good summary. I'll just try to add something. So, chapter 8, we had started with the guardrail, like what not to do, and then we did the follow up on that on the 10 nāma aparādha, right? That was the we had done the quick review on that, and that's very important. Many times, whenever we see there is the slowdown in our bhakti, like when we're seeing that. I'm losing interest in hearing or chanting. The chanting is becoming a chore. Before it was not the case. I am missing the services. Like I always have a reason not to go and do the services. These are all the signs that some aparādha has happened, and that is causing the slowness in our bhakti. So we should definitely be very, very careful in terms of the seva aparādha, in terms of the nama aparādha. Okay, so we should be very, very careful. Then chapter 9 is all about how to add the flavor. Okay, now I have the guardrail, what not to do, how to add flavor in our bhakti. And all the points which have been mentioned in this chapter illustrate or tell how to go and achieve that, right? So the first, the next rule was trinad, not tolerating blasphemy. Okay, so not tolerating blasphemy of the Lord, right? We talked about that. We should not be in the company of those people. We should move away, and if we can really stop them, we should do that. Okay, we talked about the external Vaishnava identity, tilak, tulasī, holy name, as Mataji was talking about. Accepting then all the Lord's paraphernalia, the garlands, scents, any of those things. We take it with a lot of respect, and we think that how lucky we are that Lord has given us the chance to touch those items which has touched Him. Okay. And then we talked about the archana. Archana is the one example which has many things within it, right? And here, and the reason is it allows all our senses to get to be in touch with the Lord. Okay, so touch, right? So we are doing touching the garland or some article. We are doing some archana sight. We are looking at the Lord's, like we are looking and admiring the Lord's beauty. We are smelling flowers. We are tasting the prashadam, right? We are hearing the prayers or the kirtan, and we are singing also, right? We are, and then and through the body we are doing the dancing, bowing down, circumambulating the temple, right? So we did or the dham. So we talked about all those things. Okay, we also touched that how different physical activity which we do for the deities, what is the meaning behind it? For example, dancing. Does anybody remember what the dancing does? What is the impact of dancing if
Please
somebody
the
dance?
Lord, to
Sorry?
please to please the Lord, Prabhuji.
It of course it pleases the Lord. It makes the Lord happy. And it also says that it burns the sins. It burns all our sins. Okay. Bowing down, it is considered like that it can surpass the great sacrifices. Standing is with the respect, right? That again dissolves the sin. And so these are the other things we have read, right? Like going to the temple, it exit the from the rebirth, right? And then circumambulation is just breaking our the way we are circumambulating this cycle of earth and birth and death. It stops that, it breaks that, right? So there was the other thing which were being talked about. We talked about the difference between archana and paricharya, sound as devotion, like how singing in sankirtan japa, right? So that's what we'll be beginning now. Actually we'll starting from there. So let me share my screen. Let me move my screen actually. That will be better. Just give me a minute. I'm just going to move here. This thing over here. Hare Krishna Siva Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
All right. So we'll start. Last time, up to what verse we had covered?
We were covering the types of prayers.
Prayers that we had covered. Yeah. So okay, now on the prayers, what kind of Mataji said three type of prayers. Does anybody remember what are those types of prayers?
I just remembered the one that's
Yeah.
specific to service.
Specific to service.
The
Some
type of service, yeah, the exalt, like the
some
tulasī.
okay, that is Lalsamai. The last one, right? This last one you're talking about. Okay, so see, let's look into that. So waves of devotion here. So there's some pratmika, some pratmika, and then last one, Dani Bodhika and Lal Samai. Okay, so some pratmika expressing one's heartfelt desire for a spontaneous devotional service. Okay, so we are requesting Lord, please give us that spontaneous love, like the raga nuga kind of a bhakti, right? And then you vadika, that how insignificant I am, and then Lord has been so kind. So it is some pratmika. Dhyani bodhika is higher than the sampratmika, and lalsa may is even higher than that. So here expressing one desire for a specific spiritual perfection, and we give the example how singing the tulsi arti is a part of the lalsa may prayer. Okay. Okay, so yeah, here it was. Oh, sorry, I think. Okay, so we'll start from 145 because it just goes into the sound. Okay, so and we'd like to finish hopefully today. So let's do 145 to 150. Who would like to go first? Jessica Mataji,
Sure.
go ahead.
Kirtana is defined as the loud chanting of the names, pastimes, and qualities of the Lord.
Okay.
Translation. Chanting the holy name of the Lord, nāma kirtanam, is illustrated in Vishnu Dharma. O King, he who chants the auspicious name of Kṛṣṇa turns to ashes 10 millions of the worst sins. Jiva Goswami's commentary. The glorifications of Kṛṣṇa's name should be explained as similar to glorification of acāra. Kṛṣṇa's name is mentioned for emphasizing it, but other names of the Lord should also be considered to be auspicious and render similar effects. The observation applies to other quotations also.
Okay, so see the way this translation, it seems very dry, right? So but as you have seen, right, these two verses, what is telling that chanting is the important, very, very important aspect. It also gives the example that how it burns the millions of sins. But of course, devotees don't do it for that. We do it to please the Lord and build our connection with the Lord. Okay, so and the kirtana is, of course, what is kirtan? Is defined as the loud chanting of the names, pastime, and qualities, which means that when we're talking about the pastimes, so when the Bhagavatam katha is happening, any type of katha, the classes are happening on the pastimes or tattva, it is also kirtan qualities, right? So with in the tattva or in the pastime, we are talking about the Lord's qualities. That is also kirtan. So singing, loudly singing, or having the classes, everything comes under the category of kirtan. Go ahead, Mataji. 147.
Translation. Lila Kirtanam is illustrated in the 7th canto. O my Lord Nishimadeva, by engaging in your transcendental loving service in association of devotees who are liberated souls, Hamasabs, I shall become completely uncontaminated by the association of the three modes of material nature and be able to chant the pastimes of your lordship, who are so dear to me. I shall chant your pastimes following exactly in the footsteps of Lord Brahma and his disciple Succession. In this way, I shall undoubtedly be able to cross the ocean of nescience. Jiva Goswami's commentary.
Yeah, Titrami means I will cross. Okay. So now, what do we understand by this? Anybody would like to do some quick comment on it? What is Hamsas? Anybody like just do any comment considering the Hamsas word is used also here?
Liberated soul.
Liberated, yeah.
Yes. And so why the liberated souls are considered with the Hamsa?
Because they're not controlled by the three modes of nature.
Right. But why the comparison? Like the Hamsa is not controlled by the three modes of nature? You know
I
what
think
is
Hamsa
Hamsa?
means a swan. Swan. That's it.
Swan. Hamsa
Means
means the
what?
swan. Yeah. Now,
Swan.
okay. Yes. Swan. So now tell me now consider why the liberated souls are considered with the swans.
Because they only associate with other swans.
Okay. Okay.
They're
What
not the
else?
crows. They're opposite
That
from the crows.
okay. True. What else?
Um, I don't know, Prabhu. They say that it can separate out water, milk from water. It can.
Yes, that is
Uh,
so. Yep, very good, very good. So yes, so swan has this special property. Of course, they are like a regal, right? A regal. That the way they swim, like so, they are on this material world, but they are beyond it. See how they are. They are like they are not touched by the misery. So everybody is going to. They are also here, right? There is a bodily pain, this, but they are not bothered by it. So look at the swan, the way it swims in the ocean, in the lake, right? And similarly, it can separate out the water from the milk, right? So it can know that what is the thing which it should take, what the thing it should not take, right? That's the reason the liberated souls are considered with the swans. So here it's Leela Kirtanam is it is the Kirtan where the pastime of the lords are described. So this is the example of the so this particular translation is example. It is illustrating what the Leela Kirtanam means. Like the Kirtanam which is focused on the pastime of the Lord, what does it mean? So that's what this particular verse talk about. Okay. Go ahead, Mataji.
Translation. Guna Kirtana is illustrated in the first canto. Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible causes of success for knowledge, austerities, studies of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of the hymns, and charity is the transcendental descriptions of the qualities of the Lord, who is defined in the choice poetry. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1-5-22. Vivanatha Chakra Varati Thakur's commentary.
Yeah, it's like a Vishwanath Chakravarti, just like Jiva Goswami is one of the acharyas. Similarly, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also one of the acharya who we read, because he mainly he did the commentary from the rasa, right? The mellow perspective. So the devotee really reads his commentary to understand how to understand this mellow part, how to make progress, so that we can develop this spontaneous love. All right. Okay, go ahead, Mataji.
Even though there are material desires in different religions, processes, they are accepted as religious processes because of bhakti in them. The sages have discerned that chanting the qualities of the Lord is infallible, a vikuta, cause of success, artha, for the austerity and other process executed by human beings. Mindy says, artha means object of the senses, need, wealth, cause, substance, meaning of words, prevention, and goal. Since the results of austerity and others' act are achieved by bhakti according to the words of the Lord, what use are those processes? Everything that can be achieved by fruitive activities, penance, knowledge, detachment, mystic yoga, charity, religious duties, and all other means of perfecting life is easily achieved by my devotee through loving service unto me. If somehow or other my devotee desires promotion to heaven, liberation, or residence in my abode, he easily achieves such benedictions. Srimad Bhagavatam 11, 20, 32, 33. According to the Padma Purana, all processes, what to speak of those just mentioned, must contain bhakti. One should always remember Vishnu and never forget him. All injunctions and prohibitions are dependent on these two principles. There is another meaning of the verse. The final purport of the scriptures which enjoin austerities and other processes is the performance of bhakti to the Lord. Chanting about the Lord is the unmistakable conclusion of the scriptures. According to the Lord himself, the ultimate goal of the statements of the scripture is the Lord. By the influence of time, the transcendental soul of Vedic knowledge was lost at the time of annihilation. Therefore, when the subsequent creation took place, I took the Vedic knowledge to Brahma because I myself am the religious principles enunciated in the Vedas. Madhusudana Sarasvati also gives the same meaning in the commentary of this Bhagavatam verse. However, if one takes a meaning other than the cause for the word artha, such as goal, then if bhakti is stated to be simply the goal of karma, there would be clear limitations on the power of bhakti. With that meaning, karma would not be dependent on bhakti, since bhakti as the goal of karma does not infer dependence of karma on bhakti. Thus, only two meanings of the word artha are acceptable: cause of the results given by other processes, and meanings, purport of the scriptures.
Okay, so some of you might have lost the whole thing. So can anybody try to tell me what is the gist of this particular verse?
Uh,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Shiva.
Mataji, yeah, please.
I understood that many people do many different types of practices in austerity because there's some type of love.
Okay. So see the main theme of this verse is guna kirtan, right? So this example, this particular verse is focusing what is the example of kirtan, which is called guna, which is the quality of the lords, right? So that's what is being talked. That's what is being talked about. So rest of the commentary is telling that how to understand it, right? And what are the benefit. Then it does the comparison with the other scriptures, and then it also tells how not to interpret it, because it seems the last paragraph especially, that's a technical paragraph, is telling that how people might translate the word artha, right? Because there is artha word used in this particular verse, how they may use it. So it just say that that's not possible, and the only the meaning which artha can interpret is what is given in this verse. So that is a summary. So again, I'll just read it. Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible cause of success for knowledge, austerity, the study of the Veda, sacrifice, chanting of the hymns, and
Need help?
charity
You need something?
is the transcendental description
I'm working right. Can't come back here.
is the transcendental descriptions of the quality of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry. So choice poetry like Guna Kirtan, and then he's telling that for all of those, right? The the ultimately what is the goal of all those things? It is the learning about the quality of the Lord, right? So that's what is going there, and then everything is the and then it say that all the other process, those things, everything can be achieved by fruitive activities. So whatever, so and this is so powerful. Just doing this Guna Sankirtan, which is the where you do the Guna Sankirtan or Leela Sankirtan, but for the Guna Sankirtan is saying that whatever any other process, people try very hard to get liberation um, or elevate to the other planets. So it's, Krishna is telling that, the commentary is telling that even if my, of course, my devotee doesn't desire that, even if my devotee desire it, it's very easy for them to get all of those things. Okay, so that's the thing, that the power of the kirtan,
Kirtan.
the
Yes.
glorification of the Lord, that is what's being described here. Okay.
Prabhu,
Okay.
one point like I just like to
Yes.
add here, Prabhu. So
Please go ahead,
like,
Mataji.
but
Prabhu.
probably I think this will make more sense if we do start thinking in a reverse way, like devil's advocate they call it, right? So when we see our process in Krishna consciousness, we just ask people to follow just chanting or hearing. So this Guna Kirtan. So mere Kirtan only will solve all the things, or will it give everything? Because people are doing so much yaga, so much
Yes.
yagna, so much austerity.
Yes.
Only
Yes.
mere Kirtan will give it all the stuff. Yes, I think
Yes.
this verse
Yes.
has so much weightage. It is proving yes. Yes, only Guna Kirtan is capable of everything. And whatever austerity, whatever karma, whatever yagna or different stuff that you do, the benefits that you are getting, all those things will get easily come by doing Guna Kirtan. And and the purpose of everything and reading Vedas, everything is also smartavyam satatam Krishna vismartam najatchit. So we always
Yes.
remember Krishna, don't forget Krishna. That is achieved through Guna Kirtana. And in the verse it is telling, so all the transcendental qualities will bestowed to the devotee only with the Gunakirtan. Transcendental qualities, reading or hearing itself gives all those things. I think that gives me more.
What a
Like I think
wonderful summary. Wonderful summary. And you spoke with so much of heart, so much of conviction. I can feel the joy in your eyes, right? And the voice was so much projecting your happiness. Yes, wonderful, wonderful summary, Prabhuji. I'm so happy.
I like this verse a lot, Prabhu. I think I'm
Yeah.
looking for this kind of a weightage because
Mm,
when we talk to people, we convince, okay, I'm doing this yagna, I'm doing this austerity. Then people follow many vratas, like, okay, 9 days vrata, okay, 24 days vrata, like that. Many vratas they follow. So they think like we are doing something more, something beyond. But simple things, they think like it okay,
yes,
it's just like anything. They take it easy.
yes,
So, but
yes,
this gives me like, like, okay, we got some point when you're debating, right, in lawyers, we got this very strong point. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur giving us like, much weight is to our,
yes,
debate.
yes. Definitely, definitely. Yeah, devotee doesn't want to debate, but just knowing the depth, right? It's
Yes.
so it first it gives the conviction, and then also it acts as the preaching tool for the for our preaching. So very good understanding, very good summary, Prabhuji. You did amazing. Okay, Mataji. Let's continue and yeah, 34.
34. Translation. Next, japa is defined. Japa is defined as a very soft chant of mantra. Translation.
Mataji, your audio
Your
is little
voice
feeble.
is very feeble.
Oh, can you hear me?
It's very light. Miss, the volume can go up a little bit. Maybe you can speak closer to the mic.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Translation. Next, japa is defined. Japa is defined as a very soft chanting of mantra. Translation. Padma Purana illustrates this. Chanting very softly the mantra, Kṛṣṇaye Namo produces all benefits, O King Savarja, and
Swarga.
Swarga, and liberation are bestowed to the devotees who perform japa of this mantra.
Okay.
Another
So
mantra.
so now we have moved from Kirtan. Kirtan we learned about the two different kind of type of Kirtan. Then now we have moved to Japa. And now first it goes with a definition. What is a Japa? Japa is defined as a very soft chanting of mantra. So that tells how we should even chant. Sometimes you'll see that devotee chant very loudly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So that is okay. But typically we shouldn't, especially we shouldn't chant like that in the temple. Other devotee gets disturbed by that. Okay, so we should chant, our chanting should be just soft enough so that I can hear. I myself is able to hear the sound. So that's how the softness should be. Okay, and then and he's saying that how it produces all benefits, even the like liberation and all those things are just like a side product of the Japan mantra. All right, so next devotee, 51 to 55. Mrinalini Mataji, want to go? Oh, Priti Mataji was there.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, go ahead,
Yeah,
Mrinalini
please
Mataji.
go
Yeah, Prabhu, you can. Yeah.
Yeah, let Mrinalini Mataji go ahead.
ahead. Entreaty, verse 86 is illustrated in the Skanda Purana by making entreaties to the Lord with words, the bolt on the door of liberation is released.
Mhm.
Basically.
Okay, so it is just telling that how it is comparing that how
Yeah,
the how it's just like removing the bolt from the door to the basically going back to the Godhead.
yeah.
Okay, 52.
It's opening the doors.
Hmm?
Okay. Translation: the wise have explained that there are various types of entreaties to Krishna, such as prayers, admission of incompetence, and expressions of longing.
So what? So here before you go, Mataji, see for everyone in treaties, what are the kind of this is the example very good. Like okay, the prayer is also equally as powerful as the as or as the admission of incompetence. Lord, I'm nothing. Like Daniya Bodhika, right? I'm nothing, nothing income. But still you have been so kind. So even having that mood, the humility, an expression of longing. Lord, Lord, I'm really missing, I really wanted everything, all those things, right? They're equally competent. It means each of them is not that one is better than the other. Any can be used, or it can be used in combinations, right? So devotee for devotee is much better. They can use everything in combinations, right? So that very important point. Go ahead, Mataji.
At Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura's commentary, Samprarthana prayers are statements coming from persons who have not attained the stage of bhava. Lalasa statements come from persons who have attained bhava. That is the difference.
So what do we understand here?
So prayers. So we pray when we don't feel, but when feel has happened, we make it as a lalasa.
No.
So
So see from the scripture. So lalsa. See that what you're telling. That is the interpretation can you made from the scriptural perspective. What it is telling here.
I think
See
they
what?
are explaining
Go
the
ahead.
different entities. So, I mean, humble request. So, basically, we are asking either service. So, the stages, whatever we discussed, the prayers. So, I think those are illustrating different kinds that are already shown in the translation. I think all those are related to Samprardhana, Dhanyadika, and
Yeah. So see the
Lalsa.
main difference. It is mainly telling the difference between Samprathamika and the Lalsamai. Samprathamika is done by the devotees who are still not at the stage of bhava, while
Yes.
Lalsamai prayer is done by the somebody who has achieved the stage of bhava. Now, just you think, it is very important, right? That's the reason Lalsamai is considered to be higher than Samprathamika, right? So now you see that the tulasī arati, which comes in the category of Lalsamai, are we at the stage of bhava? No,
no.
but our acharya has been so kind that they have given this ability that we are every day we are chanting this Lalsamai prayer. So uh, we should be so grateful to our acharya, so grateful to Tulsi Maharani, right? And I've heard from multiple devotees that if you if one who get attached to Tulsi Maharani, they make wonderful progress because she is so dear to Krishna. All right, go ahead, Mataji.
Prayer Prarthanatmika Vignapti is illustrated in the Padma Purana. Just as the minds of young women are attracted to the young man and the minds of young men are attracted to the young woman, may my mind be attracted to you. Translation: admission of
So, so,
worthlessness.
so, so okay, before you go, just everybody, did you all understand? Very straightforward, but just try to grasp the meaning.
Yes,
Everybody
Prabhu.
grasp the meaning?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, okay. This is so. See the analogy which has been used. Our attraction between the young men and the women is so intense, so intense. So that's the kind of intensity we have to develop in our prayers. So that's the takeaway, right? Because we need some comparison to understand. So we think that, oh, I love Krishna, but is my love is that intense? The kind of love I had when I got married with my wife. Do I have that? So this is the good analogy and comparison. If not, then I should try. Okay, I have to create that more intensity. I have to create more intensity. Okay, go ahead, Mataji.
So, translation: admission of worthlessness, Dainya Bodhika Vignapti in the Padma Purana. O Supreme Lord, there is no one as sinful as me, no one who has committed so many offenses. What can I say? I am very ashamed to ask you to remove those sins.
Yeah. So now this is again understand the mood, right? And I struggle. So I don't know about you, but I still struggle. What is the real humility? Well, we can see the external humility. People, Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhu, and they seem that they are so humble. But are we really humble? Is there a real humility? If the real humility is there, one of the sign means there are many signs, right? I will become a very good listener, because I will say that, because why do I speak? Because I want to say I know more. So I can cut off people, right? When people are speaking, you have seen that sometimes I cut off because I say I think that I know more. That shows that my humility is how external it is, right? The humility to, so we need to understand what are the characteristics to understand what this concept is, to understand what Dani Bodhika is. Now the example is given how we should feel, like how sinful are we, right? And we do, just do the reflection, right? Am I coming, like if I'm really sinful, let's say I have murdered somebody and I'm going to get shot dead, like how, like I'm so sorry, no, I wouldn't do for the 1,000 years, I'm not going to do, like see how intense I will get. So that's the kind of intensity we have to develop. I have done so many sinful activities throughout my life, and still Krishna is giving me the opportunity to sing these songs, allow me to worship him, allow me to take his name. How is it possible, Krishna? How merciful are you? So, so just think how deep we can go. So that's the mood you have to bring. That's the mood we have to bring, and we should really feel the same. Like so, you'll see some of the our very senior sannyasis and all. Sometimes in the lecture they don't want to, but sometimes they say no, I don't. They know, they say no, I am very fall. So one is externally you'll say devotee saying I am very fallen. Other is, am I feeling that I am really fallen? And that feeling is very very important. I struggle with this, so but at least knowing that how, what level I have to think in my heart, right? That is giving me, this is where I have to go. Okay. So these are just not simple sentences, just think the intention behind it. Go ahead, Mataji. 155.
Translation: Longing Lalsamayi Vignapti is illustrated in the Narada Pancharatra. O Master of the Universe, when will you, accompanied by Lakshmi, say with a deep voice to me, eager to serve you with Chamara, please come here.
So see here it was what is telling. I was just trying to understand. So here it's saying, "O Master of the Universe, when will you, accompanied by Lakshmi, say with a deep voice to me?" So here in this case, see the kind of prayer, one somebody is at a very high level, very advanced level, somebody who's beyond the bhava stage, as we learned. Like Lalsama is somebody who's beyond the bhava. So see how much love and intensity they would have. Now they are saying with a deep voice because they are really missing Krishna. They are really missing Radharani. They're thinking, so they are above the Danya Bodhika. They think that they are so fallen. They are thinking like that. Right? They're thinking they are so fallen. And then, of course, they have the lot of lalyam, the intensity. There's some pratmika and dani bodhika. So they're above that. Now, in this, so they already have those two things. On top of that, now there is the deep voice, deep choked voice. They're eager to serve you with cham. They're telling that, now, Lord, please allow me. Can you allow me to serve you with chamra? And they are like feeling how fallen they are. And then just because they are asking this prayer, they are feeling they're full of humbleness. So there are a lot of feelings in their heart, and with that heart, they are telling that I would like to do something for you, my dear Lord. Right. So that's the example which is presented in Lal Samay. Okay, and next devotee, 156 to 60. Preeti Mataji, you go ahead.
Sure, Prabhuji. Translation: Another example is presented. O lotus-eyed Lord, when will I dance on the bank of the Yamuna with tears in my eyes while singing your names? Jeev Goswami's commentary. Superficially, this appears to be a prayer, samprarthana, of someone who has not manifested bhava since he is praying for it. Samprarthana belongs to someone without the appearance of bhava, whereas lalsa or prayers with intense longing belong to a person who has manifested bhava. However, when a prayer samprarthana is filled with a similar longing, expressing such bhava, even though not attained, it is also called lalsa. Thus, this example is classed as lalasamai. Prayers and longings such as these are given here to illustrate the topic, but actually they should be understood to be examples of Raganuga Bhakti.
Wow, wow. Um, somebody please comment before I make the comment. I learned something.
We can attain lalsamai at being at the level prarthanatmika with
Yeah, on
a
this, yeah, on the
expression.
yeah, on the same line. So see, we are talking about that how the Tulsi Maharani's prayer is Lalsamai, right? But because we we are allowed, we are not we are allowed to sing that prayer even though we are not there, right? We are not at bhava level. So this is the way, right? So we are so the our mood should be when we are singing um the Tulsi prayer, our mood should not be of the Lalsamai devotee, right? Who's telling that, oh Tulsi Maharani, like the Krishna, how I can serve. We should pray to the Tulsi Maharani, if you so desire, make me like that, right? So I am praying, so it's become some prathamika, right? So our mood is we are doing the some prathamika prayer, but with the desire to be something like that, which comes in the category of lalsamai. So this is exactly what Jiva Goswami is explaining, and this is the mood we should use when we are s- singing the prayer of Tulsi Maharani in our heart. Am I making sense here?
That's true.
That's true.
Okay. I hope I'm making sense. If not, please reflect on it and then we can come back to again. Okay?
Mhm.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Translation: reciting compositions of praise. The wise consider that the Gita and the Stavaraja containing in the Gautamiya Tantra are examples of stavas. Jeev Goswami's commentary. The Gita is called stava because its contents glorified the Supreme Lord. Stava Raja here refers to the stava in Gautamiya Tantra.
So here, so see the word. So you'll see that a lot of our prayers they call estava, right? So basically, these are estava meaning reciting composition of praise. So the prayer is always about the glorification of the Lord, and in that case, even the Gita is also considered the Stavaraja, right? Which is the king, right? So the wise consider that the Gita and the Stavaraja contained in the Gautama Tantra are examples of. Sorry. So the meaning here is Gita and the Stava Raja. These are the two books which is in the with the Stava Raja which is contained in Gautamiya Tantra. That's the book, right? So Stava Raja, they're both examples of the Stavas.
Stutis also we can say, right, bro? Stuti, praise.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Stuti will also will be coming under the Stavas. Okay, 158.
Translation: the Skanda Purana says the perfected sages and the devatas respect those whose tongues are ornamented with the abundance of jewel like verses of praise of Krishna. Shall I go next, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, I'm just looking at I'm just repeating myself. Yes, go ahead.
In the Narasimha Purana, it is said, he who praises Madhusudana with stotras and stavas in front of his deity form is freed from all sins and attains the planet of Vishnu.
Okay. So see,
Chief
that's the
Goswami.
reason. Yes. So yeah. So just Mataji. So see,
Sure.
that's the reason it's recommended that we should try to memorize some of these prayers and stutis, and then we should recite every day in front of the deity, and that helps build the. And I'm not looking into see these are references from Narasimha Purana. It's saying that is freed from all sins, but I'm putting the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu message, right? That we don't do anything for getting rid of the sins and all those stuff. Those are just like a side product which one get anyway, right? We do it to build our relationship with the Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Or any form with that matter in the Gaudiya line, right? So we do it to build that relationship. The prayers plays a lot of is plays the big role. So memorizing Prahlad prayers, Kunti Marani prayers, Bhishma Stuti, any prayers like that, right? That's one way. The other is devotee also say that one can create their own prayer in our heart, and we should recite those prayers with that mood. And we know that some prathamika mood, what that would be, right? How we can have that, and then we can also within that, now we learned that how the lalsamai, right? We shouldn't directly be going to the lalsamai, but we can go in the very prayerful mood, that how I would like to achieve that kind of a thing what Tulsi Maharani has achieved, right? Or similar like that. Go ahead, Mataji.
From um,
Jiva Goswami commentary.
sure. Jeev Goswami's commentary. Though stotra and stava are not different, there is some slight distinction. The former is not composed but found in scripture, whereas the latter is self composed. Stotras, which are not composed by one, are for practicing using one's speech. The stavas created by a devotee express his individual emotions. Nevertheless, here it has been said that the wise consider the Gita to be a stava. This is because the reciter practices speaking of written praises, Gita in its stotra portion, but with intense personal devotion. It's Tava portion. Devagre means in front of the deity form.
Oh, okay. So I would like somebody to explain if you really understood it.
Parabrahma, Parandama, Paramam, like that Arjuna praises Krishna. So that is his own stava. It's not like from any scripture or particular stotra. Whatever he felt that moment, like he's praising Krishna. So it is like it is not like some written scriptural stotra like Brahma Samhita prayers or like uh, or Ashtakams, something like that. Those are like scriptures that were particularly written. But stava is like individual emotion, just like Bhishma Suti, uh, which is comes under stava, like their personal prayers. That's what I could differentiate.
No, very good. Yeah. So basically, starting is it is telling there is this for more or less Srotra and Stava are similar. And similar in what sense? Because both are prayers. But how Sutra is different? Sutra are composed in the scriptures, right? Like the all the different kind of sutras are there, right? In Shrimad Bhagavatam, right? Prahlad prayers and all this. But then it is telling that Bhagavad Gita, if somebody say, oh, but the Bhagavad Gita is also a scripture, so that should come in this stotra, but it is telling that Gita is called to be a stava. Why is that? And that's where Jiva Goswami is giving the last two lines. This is because the reciter practices speaking of written praises, but with intense personal devotion. So when we are, so for example, Prabhu, you gave the example of Arjuna, right? Param Brahma, Param Dhama. Now, when we are reciting, we should try to recite with the mood of Arjun. We are not Arjun, but we should try to imbibe that mood of Arjun, so it is become my personal prayer, right? So I am trying to imbibe that mood of Arjun, and I'm trying to recite, and that's the reason why it is called falls under Istava. So the whole Bhagavad Gita, it seems, is is coming under the Istava. So which means that whenever we are going, Arjuna is representation is our representative. He's asking the question on our behalf. And as those prayers are done by him, right? That's the mood we imbibe and do that prayers. So that's how I understand what Jiva Goswami is telling. Is it making sense?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Mataji. 160.
Translation: Tasting the food remnants of the deity from Padma Purana. He who always eats outside the inner sanctum, the remnants of the Lord's food, sprinkled with water from the Lord's feet, mixed with tulasī, achieves the results of 100 billion sacrifices. Jeev Goswami's commentary. The phrase Purato Murare means from the temple Anantapuram of the Lord with the verb participle missing. The real meaning is after going from or avoiding the temple room of the Lord. Pur- Purata Murare also means in front of Murari, but such a meaning is rejected since eating in front of the deity is an offense.
And further, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay.
Taking Purato Murare to mean in front of Murari, chewing tambula in front of the deity would be forbidden, but regular eating is not forbidden in front of the deity.
Okay, so basically they are both are a little technical. They are saying that how to interpret the word Purata Murari, right? So here, but for our all practical purpose, we should not, like he who always eats outside the inner sanctum, right? So we should not eat within the premises, but outside, taking the remnant of the Lord's prasad is very, very important, and that's the reason why we all devotee do that, right? And he says that with water from the Lord's feet mixed with tulasi. So the mood, right? How so we should just not take it with the sense gratification. Oh, nice Mahaprasad. Oh, that's great. The gulab jamun. Can I, Mataji, can I have 4 more gulab jamun, 2 more gulab jamun? This is the other thing which we, so how to differentiate, and this is how I fight with me, right? So you see that whenever the Mahaprasad, right, and we are trying to distribute, you see how sometimes we become like a bee hovering around and just trying to get more and more and more and more. Our intention should be, even if we get this much, we should be very satisfied, and then the mood we should take it that it is this Mahaprasad is coming from the Lord's feet mixed with tulsi, especially for the charnamrit, right? The charnamrit, the water, the when we are doing the abhishek, right? That's called charnamrit. So we should say take that how like it has touched the Lord's lotus feet, and it has the tulsi, and with that mood, how small I am. Like that, we should go into Daniya Bodhika, how small I am, and the Lord is giving me such a nectar, and this nectar in the scripture is telling that it can result in a 100 billion sacrifice. So one sacrifice itself, right? The sacrifice like the big king used to do, right? Ashwamedh yags, right? They are called sacrifice, where the horse is sacrificed, and they would do it after conquering all the kingdoms, and then getting the best of the best. Now it is telling that these things, getting these Charnamrit is equivalent to 100 billion sacrifices. Means it's like a uncomparable. So these numbers are given to just show the mammoth. It's not this exactly 100 billion. It's not exact. It's not 100. It's not 200 billion. It's 200 billion. It's 300 billion. It is just uncomparable. That's what it's trying to say. So mood. So this is my takeaway is for me as I'm hearing these, right, that we should, our mood should always be that how fortunate we are, right, and we should take with that, and then relish those Mahaprasad. Okay, 161 to 165. So it's up to 169. Hopefully we'll be able to finish in next 5-10 minutes. Who would like to go? Bri Mataji.
Translation. Tasting the footwater of the Lord, verse 86 from Padma Purana. Those who drink those who drink the footwater of the Lord achieve the supreme goal, even though they have not performed charity sacrifices, Vedic study, or deity worship. Translation. Smelling incense offered to the Lord, verse 86 from Hari Bhakti Sudhodaya. The action of the nose smelling the incense offered to the Lord fully destroys the poison of karma inflicted on those bitten by a snake of material existence. Vaiṣṇava Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. Smelling the Lord's incense destroys the poison of persons bitten by a snake of samsara. It is the very form of destroying karma, nasyam karma. Smelling the Mahasati incense with the nose destroys karma. Translation.
And
Oh.
just a little unrelated but related also. Um, um, in our back altar room, so when we do the arti with the incense stick, we don't burn the whole thing. It's always burned little half. So half is always there in the back altar room, which sometimes on the sankirtan we go and distribute also. So it might be a good idea. Sometimes you really want, you can come to the back altar room and you can ask somebody to give you those half burned incense sticks, and you can go and burn it at your home. Just a thought happened, just came that yes, we can do that even in the bhakti studio. Maybe next time I should get some and do it in the bhakti studio.
Yeah, that'll be good. Translation. Smelling the garlands offered to the Lord, verse 86 from a tantra. When the fragrance of the garlands of the Lord enters the nostrils, immediately the bondage created by piles of sin is destroyed. Vaiṣṇava Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. The phrase Papa Panjara Bandhanam means bondage created by piles of sinful acts. Translation from Agastya Samhita. It is said that the nose-smelling flowers and ghanta offered to the infinite Lord is the cause of complete purification in this world. Jiva Goswami's commentary. Anantasya in the verse refers to the infinite Lord, and this word is modified by architasya, or worshipped. Smelling by the senses, akranam granasya, the flowers and scents offered to the infinite Lord. Architasya anantasya are said to be causes of purification in this world. Iha.
So it is like, because so many times people will interpret the Sanskrit in a different way. So Jiva Goswami and you see those technical things, they are saying this word really means this. This is how we should understand it, right? So they are clarifying so people don't miss. The people who know the Sanskrit, sometimes they have the tendency to interpret the word in a very different way. That's the reason what you see is written here. Okay.
Translation. Touching the deity, verse 86 from Vishnu Dharmotara. The pure faithful person who touches the deity of Vishnu becomes freed from the bondage of sin and attains all desires. Jiva Goswami's commentary. This is a glorification of touching the deity for those qualified to do so.
Okay, Shiva Prabhu.
Seeing the deity from Varaha Purana, where those who see Govinda in Vrindavana do not go to the city of Yama, but achieve pure bhakti, the goal of all punya. Jiva Goswami commentary. Speaking to all people, the glories of seeing the deity, and speaking of all forms of the deities, the author, overcome by ever increasing devotion, particularly glorifies seeing Govinda, Bhagavan, the most excellent form of the deity. Bhakti is the highest goal of human being. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radokshaje. Therefore, the wise consider bhakti to be the goal of all pious actions. Thus, punyakrita gatim, the goal of those who do punyas, actually means bhakti, the final goal of all punyas, as understood by the wise. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. Punyakritam gatim, the goal of those who execute pious acts, is a phrase to attract the materialists, glorifying bhakti for material results. The author will later explain that the chief result of bhakti for those without material desire is attraction to the Lord in the form of rati, bhava.
Yeah, so see how, so it is building towards the bhava, right?
Seeing Aratrika of the Lord from Skanda Purana. The face of Vishnu lit by the light from the Aratrika lamp burns up 10 million sins of killing Brahmanas and 10 million sins committed in the past and to be committed in the future. The verse, which Jiva Goswami commentary, this verse speaks of seeing the Aratrika of any of authorized deity forms. Kotayaha is a substitute for Kotihi. Mukham is the subject of the sentence.
So here, what did we understand, Prabhu?
By witnessing the Arati of the deity, especially when we witness the Lord's deity in that light, basically. Sometimes in Shainarati, they switch off the lights and they show in the lamp so that we will see the Lord's deity form in that light. I think. Do they specifically say that, Prabhu?
Yeah,
Because
so
lit
see,
by the light from Aratrika lamp.
yeah. So see, before when these were written, there was no electrical light like this, right?
Correct,
So,
correct.
so and then the Lord. So when people will be able to, devotee will be able to take the darshan of the Lord, means able to see the Lord, is when the lamp is there, right? And the lamp is there only for how many, like maybe for a minute, right? They are doing it, and everybody's looking at the Lord. Wow, face! Look at the navel. Look at the feet, right? Especially in the Mangal Arti, correct?
Yes.
Now that is not the case. So our interpretation should be that just being being there at the time of the arti and witnessing it, that will give us the same result, right? Of course, but at the same time, devotees are not looking for this getting rid of the sin. But it is good to know that these are so powerful that it can get rid of unimaginable number of sins which one may commit throughout his life, like millions of lives that we have lived, right? So that's how we should understand it.
Um, Prabhuji, during Kartik month also we show lamp. That also
Lamp
we
to,
yes.
yes, everything, any kind of arti what we show to the Lord, and it's telling just not Krishna, it is telling that any form of the Lord, right? So that's the reason with Jiva Goswami here, he says that he gives the this is the one, right? Yeah, here Jiva
Yeah.
Goswami is telling that any of the authorized deity form. So we should not try to segregate, oh, Nil Madhav versus Jagannath Baldev Subhadra versus Gaur Nitai versus Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. Any deity form, there are, in a way, they are one and the same. It just from the rasa point, the mood point, their differences are there. Otherwise, from the tattva, they are the same, one and the same. We should not try to differentiate.
Does that mean also, I understood forms as like a clay, painting, metal. Is
Yeah,
that
so
as well?
they are all deity forms. So in the Bhagavatam, it describes that there are different authorized way of making the deities, and the clay and the wood and the stone, all those things are comes under the authorized. If the metal all comes under the authorized, but the plastic is not in the authorized, right?
Mhm.
So yes, so yes, the deities made of any of those, they're all authorized. So even at the deities at the worship, anybody is doing at home, it is equally potent, right? But just the temple, because the worship, the standard of worship is the much higher level. So our depending on our intensity at our home, the deity may be living in the deity form, or they might be living outside because we are not taking very good care of the deity, right? So but the temple is assumed because there's so many brahmanas and everybody is taking like the king, they are there personally present, right? But even at home, if we do it intently, the Lord is present in our deity form. If we do it as a doll, then of course Lord is somewhere else. Go ahead, Prabhuji. Okay, so this
Seeing the
was the.
festivals from Bhavishyotara.
Mm.
The dog eaters and others, low persons who joyfully see Keshava on his chariot, all become associates of the Lord. Jiva Goswami's commentary, the chariot Radha festival represents all other festivals as well. All those survey who see the Lord on the chariot, and even those who are low born or have bad qualities become associates of the Lord.
So this is the glorification of seeing the Lord's chariot festival, right? So when we are doing this Jagannath festival, we are pulling the cart, just coming and participating. So a lot of people who don't know the philosophy, but when they come and they pull the cart, knowing unknowingly, they are getting all this benefit, right? So that's the power. So when we go on the procession, we ask anybody, right? We see the people on the road, we ask, come, pull it. So that's our way of offering them what they were not expecting, right? So we should try to get as many people engaged in that service. Yes, Prabhu. Last for today.
Yeah. The word Adi refers to seeing the worship as illustrated in Agni Purana. He who sees the Lord with devotion, faith, and joy after he is worshipped or while he is being worshipped attains eternal service to the Lord. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura commentary. Puyamanam means while the worship is being conducted, yoga means devotion in the form of service to the Lord as described in the Pancharatra.
So see here how the yoga word is used, right? So this is the service connected to the Lord is being referred as a yoga. That's how Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur um, explained it. And then, of course, from there, the translation of this meaning is right. He who sees the Lord with devotion. So while the all these worships is being performed, our mood should be devotion, faith, joy, dancing, right? And with that mood, we are serving the Lord, right? So even though the pujaris, and by the way, this is something I learned recently, the mood of the pujari, how he should be. The pujari should be doing the seva in such a way that I am doing it for the community. So it's not that many times, Pujari may think, oh, I'm doing the seva. Oh, Lord will be happy. That is not the right mood. That mood can be there, but higher mood is I am doing for all those devotees who are here. So I have to do it with such a high mood and intensity that they all get benefited. I am doing it as a service for all these devotees who are present in the temple room, or not present in the temple room, but who are the even the devotees of the Lord. Right? So with that mood we have to go. Right? So that's the mood Pujari should have, and this is the mood the the participant they should have. Right? So mood is very important, right? So we attend many artis, but why after attending so many artis, why we are not developing the rasas? And these are the reasons. So by learning these and discussing this, let's pray for each other that we all can get this understanding when we are participating in the arti. Next time remember, oh, what did we read? How should be my mood? Am I bringing that kind of a mood? Am I really thinking that, Lord, I'm here? This is amazing that in spite of all the sins, I'm here witnessing your arti here. And then faith, I know that I have so much of faith that, Lord, you are my only shelter. And then the joy, wow, I am here. So any of those or mix of all those emotions can be present when we are attending the arti of the Lord. That at least that's my takeaway. With that, thank you very much. I went 15 minutes ahead, but we finished the chapter 9. Uh, on Friday, we will start from chapter 10, which is 170 to 182. Any follow up last minute question, reflection?
Nice one.